Hi, my name is Justin Drew. I'm the director of the Middlesex Health Cancer Center, and welcome to our Survivors Day celebration. June 6th, and really the entire month of June, is about celebrating cancer survivors throughout the United States. Survivors Day celebrates that life after a cancer diagnosis can be a reality. It celebrates the shared experience of the active and vibrant community of cancer survivors, and it serves to bring awareness to the challenges faced during treatment. It celebrates the human spirit at the end of it all. That's really what Survivors Day and Survivors Month is really all about. And this year we wanted to celebrate the human spirit in person to the extent possible. And so we developed and have spent a fair amount of time planning a drive-through Survivors Day event at our cancer center in Middletown, a celebratory focus with live music and giveaways. And we hope you can find a few pictures of the event here on our website to see what we did. We were, I'm excited to say, identified through a national cancer organization as a best practice and an innovative way to celebrate Survivors Day through our drive-through event. And so we hope you can experience a little bit through what you can find on our website here. We also wanted to connect to a virtual program. And so we thought, given the year that we've all just experienced, what better way to do that than to highlight a cancer survivor and a humorist in a virtual presentation available here as well. And so I'm going to introduce our speaker. He is dubbed one of the most hilarious motivational speakers in the United States, and he's a two-time cancer survivor. Mack Dryden shows audiences how to make the most out of goal setting, eye surgery, and even a Moroccan prison. He's a brilliant entertainer and is renowned for inspiring groups from all sectors as he blends humor, storytelling, and valuable messages to create a memorable experience. He began as a newspaper reporter in his native Gulf Coast and later went on to write for the popular show Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher. He later appeared in several television shows, including Saved by the Bell, Jag, and The Tonight Show, as well as some feature films. His writing and voice work for Los Angeles-based Premier Radio are heard by more than over 500 radio stations weekly. And so I want to virtually welcome Mack to the Middlesex Health Cancer Center Survivor Celebration to share his thoughts, wisdom, and humor. Take it away, Mack.
Hi there, it is great to almost be with you, and I'd like to thank Justin for that incredible introduction. Wasn't that great? That was an outstanding intro. In fact, that might be the best introduction I have ever written. That's a keeper, for sure. And like I say, I wish I could be there to mix and mingle with you, but thank goodness for this technology so we can stay safe and still have a terrific time together. Thanks, of course, to Middlesex Health Cancer Center. And if you've already detected my accent, yes, I have to fess up. I grew up in Mississippi, and so when I was growing up, Connecticut was kind of like a distant planet to me. I just had no idea about it, what it was, except, of course, since I was a sports fan, and every year I watched the finals of the women's basketball tournament, and because it was so exciting and so suspenseful, wondering who was going to come in second. You know, because the Huskies pretty much had a lock on that. I mean, the whole time. In fact, the first time I got booked to speak in Connecticut and actually got to come to that lovely state, I was shocked because I was walking the streets and the people looked kind of normal, and I was expecting there to be like gaggles of young women who were like 6'6", 6'8", you know, and athletic and all that. So that was kind of a shock. But anyway, what a juggernaut, huh? Holy smokes. Most schools would die just for one national championship. And the Huskies have 11, 4 in a row, and the two longest winning streaks in collegiate history, 90 wins in a row one time, 111 another time, and broken only by a lucky shot at the buzzer by Mississippi State, and which was pure luck. That was, oh, by the way, I had nothing to do with that. Nothing. I went to Ole Miss. I hate Mississippi State. Pooh. You know, so just want to be clear on that. And how about Paige Beckers being the first ever freshman AP Player of the Year? Is she amazing or what? I'm going to make a prediction here. I think I'm going to go out on a limb a little bit. I think she is going to be an extraordinary player when she grows up. Just a hunch there. I was a pretty good athlete in another discipline back in the black and white era, and I try to inspire folks of all ages to stay fit and keep setting goals for themselves. I wouldn't want you to think that I'm just a comedian, although I used to use that exact terminology when my contemporaries were doing things helping humanity, like becoming scientists and doctors and healthcare workers and social workers and caregivers and all that. They would ask me, I would say I'm just a comedian. Not anymore, folks. No, sir. Because I've got some powerful information about what I do. I've known about the healthful benefits of laughter for a long time because it's the commodity that I deal in, of course. It can lower your blood pressure, lower the level of stress hormones in your system. It can boost your immune system, tighten your tummy. And the most fun benefit, of course, is that it dumps tons of endorphins into your system, giving you a legal high, and you don't even have to go to like Colorado or anything. And then I read this article about scientific research that proved that laughter releases cancer-killing agents into your system. What? Boom, 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 boom. Man, like a fireworks went off. Because I thought, I know that so many cancers start with just one evil little mutated monster cell, and I'll bet if I could zap enough of these little things by making people laugh until tears stream down their legs every year, might have zapped one right there, I might be able to slaughter thousands, maybe millions of these things before they can grow up and do hideous things to wonderful, nice, beautiful, innocent people. And in fact, I found out that I am indeed a cancer-killing comedy commando. And the first time I used that phrase on stage, I was at a cancer survivors celebration, of course, and I was chatting with an oncologist after I spoke. And I said, am I exaggerating my superpower, or is there a scintilla of truth in what I'm saying? And she said, exaggerating? No, it's biomedical fact. She says, in fact, I would think as long and hard as you made us laugh today, and as many times a year as you do this, that it would be a statistical certainty that you kill thousands of cancer cells every year and inhibit the growth of many more. I said, really? She said, biomedical fact. So, I want to kill a few more of the little buggers before I let you go. One day, I felt a lump in my body where it didn't belong, and I went to the doctor and I got the bad news. Mr. Dryden, you have cancer, which buckled my knees and knocked the breath out of me. And when I could speak again, I said, okay, doc, what are we going to do about this? He said, you're going to go into surgery. You're going to lose a testicle. You're going to undergo 17 weeks of radiation treatments, and you're going to pray to God that I said, well, go back to step one. What was that? Lose what? I don't want to rush into this, doc. Maybe get a second, third, 13th opinion before we do this. Because, you just get more personally attached to some organs than others. I don't even know what my spleen feels like, I have certainly never scratched it, that's for sure. But I decided that I was going to get as many laughs with this ordeal as possible because, well, two reasons. I had heard about the power and benefits of laughter, physical healing power of laughter, and also I had a lot to live for. I was raising my then 5-year-old daughter by myself at the time, and I thought, what if I got 248 laughs, and if I'd have gotten 250, I might be able to give her away at her wedding one day. So I went for it. I got laughs from my doctor. The day before the operation, he asked me if I wanted him to implant a plastic prosthesis so I would look the same. I said, why, doc? Don't you think my friends will recognize me? I won't be posting a bunch of before and after pictures on Facebook or anything. I can tell you that. I got laughs from my radiation mistress. I called her that because, of course, she was the only woman who saw me naked twice a week. And I'm lying buck naked on this glass slab. She's drawing these Navajo rug designs on my nether parts, aiming this thermonuclear device at me, telling me it's perfectly safe. And then, of course, she puts on a lead vest and goes into the fallout shelter next door. You know, it's like 4 inches of glass over there. And she's, you'll be fine, Mr. Dryden, perfectly safe. And I'm yelling. Strange feeling. More power, Captain. The Grimulons are attacking the starboard pod. She starts laughing. Her assistant's laughing. People coming in from the hallway to see what all the laughter's about in the radiation room. I cheered up as many people as I could because it cheered me up. Comedians, we get our endorphins and cancer-killing agents going by making other people laugh. One day I had my head in the bucket and the nurse came by and said, how you doing, Mr. Dryden? I said, well, I puked up about everything, but I found my class ring. And just hearing her laugh made me feel better than I had in days. It really did. I had turned the tables on her. I was taking care of her, making her feel better. And that made me feel great. Caregivers, oh my goodness, we owe them so much. They do so much. So, after 10 years of checkups, going back and forth, of course, I got the good news from my doctor. He said, Mr. Dryden, you're 100% clear and clean of cancer. And of course, I said, bless your heart. And the blessings kept getting better over the years. About 30 years after that, one of my dreams came true. And it got even better. Little Avon, just like his mom, was born with more hair than his dad. That was a good thing. Not too long after that, little brother Liam came along. So I feel like I'm as blessed as any person on earth. I really am. And I thought, wow, this is terrific. I got my cancer behind me at a fairly early age. And then, about 10 years ago, I went in to get a prescription changed for these things. The optometrist looked through that big machine and went, That didn't sound good. So he sent me to a specialist. She did the same thing. And she sent me to a real special specialist who specializes in really special stuff. And he said, don't know how to tell you this, Mr. Dryden, but you are one of only 6 people in North America every year to get a malignant melanoma on the back of your eyeball. I said, well, lucky me. Wow, that's terrific. I said, gee, Doc, I'm just having no luck at all with these round organs. He said, that's pretty funny. What are you, a comedian? Yeah, as it turns out. So he asked me to come up with the best joke that I could about this ordeal, which was not going to be terribly pleasant. And he told me that they were going to radiate the melanoma on the back of my eyeball, and that I would probably lose most of the vision in that eye, which was true, and which really bummed me out because I'd always had really good vision. And some of you might even remember the old 60s song that it reminded me of. I just felt kind of like I was going to be freakish. And for the record, just last year, I got a brand new titanium shoulder. There's a picture of it. Yes, I have a brand new ball joint. So this is my new personal logo. And yes, those are brass. I have earned it. So my eye surgeon said to me, you are actually very lucky because only 10 years ago, the only thing we knew how to do in a case like this is to pop the eye out because we can't get there with traditional radiation or even laser because too close to your brain, and you obviously can't lose any more of that. But we have learned how to sew a radioactive button to the back of your eyeball and nuke that sucker from behind. I said the back of my eyeball, oh goody. I was going to sew something to the back of my eyeball this week anyway, Doc. You beat me to it. Darn. But I'm thinking the back of my eyeball, if they have to drill from here. That might hit something important, you know? You know how they get to the back of your eyeball to work on it in a situation like this? They deaden the muscles around your eye, and then they just pull it all the way around till they find what they want to work on, which is gross, but very handy. You know, it just beats the heck out of this, folks. It does. I wasn't looking forward to that. And I was awake for this. Yeah. Well, I wanted to keep an eye on him. So, after 8 fairly miserable days having a nuke stuck to the back of my eyeball, I went back in and he took it off and he said it's looking good. And he asked me for my joke. And I said, well, Doc, what I do for a living is, in normal times, this was in normal times, I fly all over the country and I entertain and try to inspire people. And it occurred to me when I get on that plane to Seattle next week, wearing my favorite maroon jogging suit that's so comfy when I fly, and this patch, that I'm going to be a one-eyed, one-orbed, flying purple people meter. And he was too young to get it. And he said, you know, I kind of expected better than that. You're a pro and everything. I said, gee, Doc, you really should give me a break because, as you know by now, I'm half blind and half nuts. And he gave me an extra sucker for that one. And I appreciated that. And I appreciate you. And particularly the amazing folks at Middlesex Health Cancer Center. We owe them so much for all they do. Thank you, thank you. And if you're watching this, this means you are involved in a cancer journey in some way. I just urge you to keep your sense of humor, stay strong, and lift up all your teammates, the people who are on this journey with you. There are going to be a lot of obstacles between you and your goals, but just remember that falling on your face is still moving forward. I can't tell you how honored I am to have been a part of your celebration. I hope you have a great one. Thank you so much. Bye.